With an estimated net worth of $70 billion, Vladimir Putin is certainly one of the richest. As the president and prime minister of Russia, he certainly has a need to travel quite a bit. But did you know that Mr. Putin is a bit of a vehicle enthusiast, as evidenced by his fleet of presidential roadsters that cost a whopping $192 million to develop? And his rival to Air Force One, known as Ilyushin Il-96, is a $40 to $50 million plane. Yeah, Putin ain't messing around here, folks. When you tally all his vehicles together, it amounts to just about $5 billion. Today, we're looking at what comprises Putin's presidential vehicles. So, buckle up and get ready for a ride fit for the leader of Russia. The world first caught sight of Putin's brand new presidential cortege on his fourth inauguration, which took place on May 7, 2018. This car is nothing short of incredible, and believe it or not, it is only one of an entire fleet that has been in development since 2012. The cost? An astonishing $192 million have been put into the development of these beautiful roadsters. And there are even long-term plans from the manufacturing company to start an entire brand based off all the buzz that has been circulating ever since Putin stepped out of the doors. Hey, we don't blame them though. Who wouldn't want to drive around in the same car as one of the most powerful men in the world? Interested in picking one up? Here's some of the stats we have on Putin's cortege. Check this out. Putin's presidential ride weighs 6 tons and runs on a 6.6-liter V12 engine. The horsepower? Oh, that's reported to be a jaw-dropping 860. Power is sent out to all 4 wheels through a 9-speed automatic transmission, which is sure to give the president of Russia some serious speed when he needs it. What else should you know about this car? How about this? While we don't know exactly what defense capabilities are on board, we do know that this car houses some of the most state-of-the-art defensive measures that money can buy. Not enough? What if we told you that it is bomb-proof? You need more? Well, does the fact that it is not only bulletproof, but also contains armored plating grab your attention? Hey, if you're not interested yet, we can bet that Elon Musk would be. After all, his brand new Cybertruck, a $49,900 purchase, will also be armored and bulletproof. Although, we sure hope that Mr. Musk gets everything in order before the release date, as we all remember that infamous window shattering that happened when he unveiled the truck in 2019. But we digress. Back to Putin's supercar. What else can we tell you? Well, we told you about the $192 million that went into designing a fleet of cars just like this for Mr. Putin. But get this. The government thinks that by releasing commercial models, they can offset that cost. There are plans to release 3 different models of the car under the Aurus brand. Honestly, with how much this car looks like a Rolls-Royce Ghost limo, we think that they are going to be a smashing success. The 3 models that will be produced will be named after a tower in the Kremlin fortress: the Senate, Arsenal, and Commandant. Let's talk price though. As you can imagine, these cars aren't cheap, and the estimated price tag for these Putin limo lookalikes is going to be between $95,500 and $111,500. Time for a quick comparison. Let's take a look at what old Joe Biden is driving. The United States president drives a $1.5 million Cadillac limousine known as the Beast. This car has night vision cameras, automatic fire extinguisher systems, an oxygen system, tear gas cannons, and even smoke screens. It was developed by GM and weighs 20,000 pounds. Like Putin's car, it too is armored, and the Beast has 8 inches of bulletproof armor to make sure Biden is safe when he travels. It runs on a 5-liter diesel engine, and to this day, no one knows exactly the power and torque output, but it's estimated that it puts out 3 kmpl of mileage. Not bad, huh? But all this talk of what makes a great fleet of armored cars has us longing for something faster, something louder, something that can soar through the air at breakneck speeds, and also provide unparalleled luxury. Oh, you know exactly what we are going for with this. We want to talk about just what kind of planes Mr. Putin has, and what you can expect if you ever get the chance to take a trip on one. Here's a look at Mr. Putin's fleet of planes. He has 2 Airbus A319s, 8 Il-96s, 2 Sukhoi Superjets, and he also has a fleet of Tu-154, Tu-204, Yak-40s, as well as 2 helicopters. Basically, what we're trying to say is, when it comes to the skies, Putin's got everything he needs. The main method of travel for the Russian president has to be his Il-96-300. This is the closest parallel to Air Force One, just to give you an idea of what we are working with here. To secure this plane for Mr. Putin, it cost the Russian government $504 million per plane. Each plane is hand-produced, which means that there are limited spare parts available when they need to be replaced. The interior of the Il-96-300 is nothing short of astonishing. It can only be described as fit for an emperor, with a neoclassical fit-out, with fur rugs, famous Russian tapestries on the walls, and all the edges are lined with gold. But we bet you weren't at all surprised about that last fact, huh? There's a master bedroom, an office room, a boardroom, and even a gym, all on board. When Mr. Putin needs to hose off after putting in some reps, there are also full showers inside of the bathrooms. That, of course, have gold-plated handles. Come on, would you expect any less? What else does this plane house? Get this, there's an escape pod, a full communication suite that is capable of leading the entirety of Russia in a time of war, and plenty of missile countermeasures. It's a lot, we know. And believe it or not, Russia has taken some criticism for just how lavish their president's plane is. The Russian government has been criticized for not only how luxurious the planes are, but for also just how many of them have been produced. Honestly, we think having the president of your country travel in style, while also having access to some of the best defensive capabilities available, ain't such a bad thing. After all, compare this plane to what China uses, which is simply a Boeing 747-8 for its VIP transport, and you may start to think that other countries don't put in enough to their presidential flyers. But we'll let you be the judge on that one. Oh, before we go, let's quickly compare Putin's plane to arguably the most famous flyer that has ever flown. We are talking, of course, about Air Force One, the current plane that President Joe Biden travels on. Check this out. Air Force One is due for an upgrade. The new Boeing 747-8I aircraft will be replacing the now outdated models first used by President George H.W. Bush, all the way back in the early 1990s. Yeah, we'd say it's definitely time for an upgrade. Just how much has the United States put into this upgrade? $5.3 billion. Look, this is the United States we are talking about. You know how they feel about military spending. And if you don't, they spent $778 billion in 2020. Yeah, we're not at all surprised that so much went into the president's plane. And that's it for our video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. It really helps us out here so much. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you can be alerted the next time one of our videos goes up. We will see you next time, right here on The Richest.